Hey, good morning. Welcome to Monday's Mindful Monday short hold yoga class, yin yoga practice. Today we're going to start in child's pose if that's okay for your body. If not, just start seated or laying down if that's better. Have your 3 blocks handy at the top of your mat. So when we come up from child's, you can reach those. And I like to start on my blanket with my feet. So I'm getting like this nice soft cushion underneath my ankles. You can use blocks between your feet to sit on if you need some support, or even in front of you. If you want to use your elbows on the blocks or maybe a block under your forehead. We're going to be here for about 5 minutes. So this is a true yin stretch, but you want to make sure you can relax your muscles so that the joint takes on the pressure. Okay. So let your head rest on something. It can be your hands or fists stacked. Feel the tops of the feet start to open. Feel your back stretch. We're also compressing the hip flexors, the group of muscles that lift your knee. Every time you take a step forward, these muscles have to engage. So we're compressing that. And that's one way to get tension out of muscle, is to compress it. We can stretch it, twist it, or compress it. Good. Let's start to breathe a little bit deeper right away, just to help the body relax. Just take a few breaths in and out of your belly. And as you breathe out, just relax. Keep letting go as you breathe in and out. Good. Letting the arms and legs relax, the shoulder, the face, the forehead, the eyes, the jaws. Consciously relaxing this body right now. Knowing that when we relax, the body can heal easier. Good. Maybe you're starting to feel more space in your stomach to breathe into now that you're relaxing, maybe your rib cage and your back. Breathe nice and low. Breathe out, let go. Keep it going. And it's okay if your belly is pushing into your thighs. That's more of a diaphragmatic breathing. Always good for the diaphragm. All right, let's take it to the ribs next. So feel your ribs spread out as you inhale. And as you exhale, just relax and do it again. Breathing in, expanding your rib cage. Breathing out, relax. Good. Notice where the ribs can expand here. Maybe you feel it more in this shape in your back. Breathe out, let go. Just continue on your own. Nice wide breath here. Opening up those intercostal muscles. Okay, third part, let's take it up to the chest, the upper back. Breathe in, expand, breathe out, relax. Just let it be however it is, without force, without judging or questioning. Just breathing, trusting your nervous system to communicate if something is wrong. And if not, just keep going, just breathing in and out of this upper part of the lungs. Good. All right, now we're going to come up to seated meditation pose. And we'll do the rest of our breathing there. So just come on up, let your legs relax. Maybe you need to shake them out a little bit or roll your ankles. That's okay. And then find your way to Sukhasana, just a simple seated meditation position. Close your eyes, relaxing your face. Again, your shoulders, your neck. Feel your sits bones on the ground. And then whenever you feel ready, start to fill your lungs like a glass, filling the belly, then the ribs, then the chest, pausing. Empty chest, ribs, belly draws back, pausing. And just continue like that, nice and slow and steady. Just creating this nice rhythm for yourself today. It's going to carry you throughout this day. Learning how to breathe properly again can just change the way you feel completely. So right now we're doing it consciously, and eventually your body will just breathe on its own this way. Beautiful. Hands at the heart center in prayer. Remember, there's a reason that you're here. What is it today that you need? Maybe it's safety for a loved one that you're setting your intention for today, or for yourself, someone's health in your life. Maybe it's just to have a productive day. Whatever it is, no right or wrong. Ask for what you need. And then say thank you for it. Good. Hands to the forehead to touch. Remember, thoughts will be there. They're not who you are. Watch your thoughts be the witness to your thinking. And then hands back to the heart center. Let's start with an Om together, nice and soft and sweet. Breathe in. Om. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together in front for butterfly pose. So bottoms of the feet kiss. Knees are bent 90 degrees. And you want to make sure it's a square shape between your legs. So you're not pulling the heels in close towards the groin like you would in Baddha Konasana. This is butterfly. You're welcome to sit on a block, or maybe put blocks under the knees so your legs can relax. And then you could also use blocks in front of you for your elbows to rest against. Now we're just going to stay here for 3 minutes. This is our short hold class today. Okay, so let's just start moving through some postures. We already did a little forward fold in our child's pose. So hopefully your back feels a little more stretched out for this one. But don't worry about how far you're going. I want you to just allow your body to be where it is today. And take long, slow, steady breaths in and out. Trying to fill and empty like a glass, always working at a 5. On a scale of 1 to 10, if that changes, change the position. Give yourself permission. And do what feels good with your neck. You can let it hang or hold it up, what feels best. And we don't know until we try. So try to listen to your body instead of your mind. And if your head is hanging, you could slowly sway it side to side, or maybe rock the chin like a pendulum. Good, we're halfway there. Just keep letting go in every pose today. This is the power of letting go. So we let go of all these things we think we're supposed to be, or do, or say. Just be here in the present as we are. Yata Bhuta. Keep your breath going. 45 seconds left. All right, now slowly roll up if you're forward. Put your feet flat at the edges of your mat. Just let your knees tip side to side like windshield wipers. Nice and slow. Be in control of the movement. Keep breathing. All right, let's take our first reverse table if it works for you. If not, go to your back and lift your hips into a bridge pose instead. Hands are flat, fingers spread out, whichever direction the fingers need to point, but the feet are hip distance and facing forward if possible. You can feel your triceps stretch, feel the front of your shoulders stretch. Lift the hips by squeezing or using your glute muscles of your bum. And then maybe the head falls back. And now when you come down, we're going to do the left leg forward, right leg back for swan. Okay, we're just going to move through a bunch of poses, one after another today. Shake out your hands once you get into the left side of swan. So right knee's back, left leg 90 degrees. We didn't do this pose yesterday if you were in class. So today we're going to add it in, just a 5-minute hold. And in this pose, 5 minutes is a short hold, right? Typically we can hold it for 7 to 10 minutes. So find your edge and just make sure your muscles are relaxed before you start diving into it. And then once you bump up against something that feels like tightness or your muscles start to contract, then you know that's your edge. You want to pause before the muscles contract. And then I like to close my eyes so I'm not easily distracted by what's going on around me. And plus I can focus inward easier that way. And feel my breath going in and out through the nose. Feel the sensation it creates. And then use that as your platform for witnessing your thinking, watching your edge. Make sure you stay there. And just breathing, just relaxing and breathing. Okay, 5-minute hold. We're almost to that first minute. So make your intuitive adjustments. So this is our outer rotation, and so was our butterfly shape with the legs. Double outer rotation with butterfly, single with our swan pose, single outer rotation, addressing the IT band on the outside of the thigh, and stretching, stimulating flow through the gallbladder meridian channels, down the side body, down the side of the leg. So lots of good things happening in our practice that we can't see or maybe even feel that energy channel. But just keep breathing. That is one of the intentions of this class, is to stimulate chi flow through the meridians. Okay, that's the second minute. We have 3 to go. Let's try our inward focus, working on bringing the attention, the senses into the body. Pratyahara. Okay, that's one of the 8 limbs of yoga. Pratyahara. Yesterday we studied dharana, concentration. So those two go together as we start to focus inward on the body and breath. Remember, you can wiggle your toes, just making sure your muscles don't start engaging. If you're not quite sure, you could slide your back leg back if you need more pressure. Or bring the knee forward for less. Just a little bit more than a minute to go. All right, now let's slowly come up. And we're going to pull that right knee in and see if we can bring pressure to the top of the right foot. So now this leg is in a little bit of an inner rotation. If it's too strong on the foot, take a block, slip it underneath your seat, and then straighten the left leg out in front of you. All right, now if you'd like, you can keep the leg right there, or you can turn the right knee out to the right, or sweep the left foot out to the left. This is a half frog position. So find your edge. So we already stretched the quads a little bit in our child's pose for 3 minutes in the beginning of class, and the top of the foot too. So that's the only reason I feel like we could maybe handle this at this point of the class, and we'll only be here for 3 minutes. So this is another short hold. Find your edge, find where you can relax and breathe. There's no pain. There's no muscle engaged in the right thigh, right? Elevate the hips if there is. You could also put a block underneath your left knee if that helps. Okay, so find your edge and then just melt into it. Relax, breathe. Doesn't mean you have to change the pose to melt, right? You just relax. You let go of effort. Wherever you are. So blocks can also be between the legs for those of you that want to move deeper into the position. Leaning forward. So a little hamstring stretch here and an inner rotation and a top of the foot stretch and an ankle stretch as well. Lots going on in our half frog. Just keep breathing. Keep yourself awake, aware with your breath. So you don't float off to someplace else. It's easy to do. A few more breaths. Now we want to ease out of this one. So try to use your right hand to grab your ankle. And just be careful with that right knee as you bring it out front and straighten it out gently. Good, let it rest for a moment. And you can just bounce your knees on the mat a little bit if that feels good. Place your feet flat back to those windshield wipers again, side to side, nice and slow. This is good for the lower back. It's a little bit of a spinal twist if you let your left hip come up when you go to the right, and then opposite side, right hip when the left knee goes down. Good, let's take another reverse table, second one. Remember, you can do bridge poses here if that's better for you. Lay on your back, feet flat, lift the hips instead. Head can stay up or drop back. Just do little short ones if you're new to it. Letting your body open up in the front. And then as we come down, we're going to do the right side of swan. So right leg forward, left knee bent. Shake out your hands a little bit. Get the tension out of the wrist, especially those of you that did the reverse table. And then the right leg is in this 90-degree angle. So you want to use your mat, the side of the mat and top of the mat, as a guideline for your right thigh, your front thigh, and then the back knee just does whatever it feels like. You can fold forward if you need more pressure, or stay up. This is a 5-minute hold. So not too long, especially in this one. This is one of the easier shapes for most people's bodies. Okay, so find your edge. That's the first thing you do as you enter each pose. Where does it feel like sweet discomfort? Where can you breathe and relax the muscle? Once you find your edge, just become still, second principle, and do the inward meditation. Pratyahara, bring your attention into the body. Feel the breath by the nose. Good, focus on what's happening right here and right now. We witness the thinking so we can just put the thoughts in their place and then go back to the breath, back to the body. Okay, 4 minutes to go. Halfway there right now. This is the art of letting go, right? Just let your body rest in this place of discomfort. But don't forget about the sweetness. That's your breath. You keep feeding your body with prana, with life force, chi, with oxygen as you breathe in and breathe out what you don't need. Remember, you can slide that back leg back if you need more, or slide it forward if it starts getting a little too strong. That's called playing your edge, and it's part of this practice. Less than a minute to go. All right, let's rise up. Now we're going to pull that back knee up and then try to get the foot close to the hip. So this is like a kind of like a half fixed firm pose in Bikram. If you need a block, put it underneath your seat. And that's going to take some pressure off your foot and knee. Then you can straighten your right leg out in front of you and maybe turn the left knee out or sweep the right leg out to the right. All right, so search for your edge. You can put a block behind your right knee if that helps. And remember, this is just a nice short 3-minute hold here. Okay, find your edge. Find that sweet discomfort point. Get still and then dive inward with your breath into your body. Body-mind connection is yoga. So this is an ancient practice. You know, they've been writing and studying this, practicing yoga for, some say, up to over 5,000 years. So, you know, if you think about that, think about it that way. It's not just this physical practice at all. It wasn't physical at all in India, actually. The physical part just helped with the meditation part. So they do the physical first, and then they sit and meditate for hours. And then when their bodies start getting cranky, they do some more physical work and then go back to their meditation. So let's make sure we get that meditation in today as we focus inward and practice Pratyahara, senses inward. Feel your lungs expanding as you inhale, breathe out, relax. Anything that you can detect that's happening in the present will help you to relax and be present. Okay, that's the first minute, 2 to go. And they say that it started in caves, in the caves of the mountains of India, right? Up in the Himalayas, there were sages and saints that would be up there studying and not really studying, but just intuitively practicing what they call now yoga. And even when I was in India, there are still sages that lived in these mountain caves that people would go up and visit and study with. I didn't do that, but it's kind of interesting to think about. Like true isolation, where it's just you and your mind and the elements, you know. So this is inner rotation of the left hip. Depending on how wide you have your knees apart, you know, you just work with whatever is happening. So don't worry about so much about what it looks like. Let's grab a hold of that left ankle if you can and guide that out front and just let your legs stretch out. Being careful with that left knee, you can bounce your knees on the mat if it feels good. Maybe roll the ankles a bit if they feel tight after all that. And then put your feet flat and let your knees tip side to side, nice and slow and steady. Okay, and now we're going to do a third reverse table. So I'm going to turn this way and then have a block with you close by. We're going to put the feet and hands flat, lift and squeeze, and see how it feels now. And then you can also do bridge instead if you prefer. Just stay as long as you like. Keep breathing. And when you come down this time, we're going to lay back, put the block underneath the lower back, and bring the legs up into the air. So we're kind of playing around with different forms of forward folds today. We started with butterfly pose. Well, we started with child's pose, right? Which is probably the most gentle, relatively speaking, of the forward folds. So we got the back stretched out there. Then we went into that outer rotation with the legs, forward fold with the upper body. Now we're going to practice snail pose to get into the hamstrings. So make sure the block is under the lower back, not your butt, and then just let your legs start falling towards your face, just to wherever they stop. It doesn't matter. Something is stopping you. That's what we're working on, right? Whatever is stopping you, we just let it stop us and we breathe. And we wait patiently for the body to go further. Now, if you want to go all the way deeper into it, of course, you can lift your hips with your hands or move the block up the spine a couple inches. Do what feels good. Let's keep breathing here. Just see what happens next couple minutes. So really stretching the whole body, depending on where you're tight, that's where you're going to feel it the most. And we're all different in that respect. So honor yourself wherever you're stopping here, wherever you're breathing. You can bend the knees more, but that does kind of take the pressure off the hamstrings, but it might feel good, just like when you're doing a standing forward fold. We bend the knees to take pressure off the low back. So do what feels good. You can open up the legs wider if you'd like. Just practicing letting go. Try to let go, try to relax. Let gravity do the work. Just one more minute. You can roll your ankles here, get the kinks out of the ankles. You might notice that your legs are in a different position than they were when you started. That's okay, right? Just let it unfold naturally. Just 30 seconds. Okay, now when you're ready to come out, you can move the block down if you've moved it up. Maybe bend the knees a lot and just let one foot come to the floor at a time. And then just sit there for a moment. Just let your body relax. And then when you're ready, you can lift the hips and take the block out and let the hips come to the mat. Give your knees a squeeze into your chest and rock side to side, massaging your lower back. You can make circles with your hands on your knees. That feels good. Beautiful. Legs in the air, point and flex a couple times. Roll the ankles around. And let's rock ourselves up to seated. All right, shake out your hands, get the tension out of the wrists. Roll the shoulders backwards, whatever feels good. And let's take a cleansing breath together. Breathe in. All right, first time in cats and cows today. Let's come forward, hands and knees. Place the hands flat. Fingers spread out, knees hip distance. And we'll inhale, tail and chin go up. Exhale, tail and chin go down. And back and forth, nice and slow. Good. Watching your mind, feeling your breath. Beautiful. Let's lift the right arm in the air and then place it on the floor for thread the needle. Don't like to skip this one ever if possible. So keeping the hips over your knees will allow you to be in control of the pressure on your shoulder and upper back and neck. We'll just stay here for a couple minutes. Good, nice steady breaths. You can wag your tail, maybe lift the right arm or the left arm and put it behind you. Or you can clasp your hands together in front of you and try to straighten both arms. Good, be playful in your practice. See what feels good. So they say that we should take our practice seriously, but not ourselves. So this is twisting the ribs and the upper back, stretching the back of that right shoulder and maybe a little bit into the neck if you feel it there. Again, it just depends on where you're feeling tight today. So honor that edge wherever it feels like a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, wherever that might be in your body in each pose. It's different for all of us. 1 more minute. Okay, now right hand or left hand in front of your face. Sweep the right arm up to the sky. Feel that stretch in the opposite direction, then switch sides when you're ready. Bringing the left arm up, right hand on the floor. And then go back to the other side, stepping the right foot back into that easy side plank position. So this is just a nice way to stretch the waist and the right side of the neck. Good, right foot flat at the back of the mat, and then the right arm can fall back to open the front of the shoulder if you'd like, or you can bring it over your head if you prefer. Let your body decide, just play around with it. Good. I like to move my head yes and no in this position. See if I can remove some kinks from the cervical spine. And we're getting ready to move into dragon next. So let's go ahead, bring the right hand down. Big step forward with the right foot. And we're going to start with high dragon since we've done quite a few forward folds. Let's move into a little bit of a back bend using the block. So a block in front of your left knee. Blocks under your hands. And lift the chest. See how it feels in this high dragon. So we're compressing the back body into a little back bend. And we're stretching the front of the left hip. So we're opening up the hip flexors and quadriceps. Okay, stomach and spleen channels are there. Back toes can point or flex, just whatever feels nice. Flexing kind of feels good. We haven't done the foot stretch, the toe stretch yet. You want to get a little toe stretch in here. So we're going to see if we can do 2.5 high, 2.5 low for a total of 5 in this pose today. If you need the baby dragon, feel free to go there anytime or even just for the whole pose if that feels right. So yesterday was our daylight savings time, and I know in the morning some people got messed up yesterday. I mean, I go by my phone, so it usually doesn't affect me. But then when I went to meet some friends for lunch up in Highlands, I looked at the clock in the car and it hadn't been changed, and it didn't occur to me that it was wrong until we got to the restaurant that closed at 3, and I thought it was 3:30. It was really only 2:30. So it did kind of catch me off guard a little bit. It's always a weird time of the year. Now you can do some side turns of your head for twisting of your neck here, side to side, chin over shoulder. You can go up and down for back bend, forward fold of your neck, of your cervical spine. And then you can also drop your ear towards your shoulder. We just have a few more breaths. Good. Now let's lean forward, put the blocks inside the front foot, and put the elbows on the blocks for the next 2.5 minutes. You can walk your right foot out to the right a little bit. You don't have a dog in your way. If you could only see her tail going all over. And she's going to get as close as she can. Can't see the clock, Daisy. All right, got a couple minutes. Let's breathe. This is low dragon. So you may feel this more in your front leg. It's not unusual to feel the stretch maybe in the back of that front leg, the right leg, or outside edge or inside edge, because we're coming down on the inside of the leg, depending on how high your blocks are. Really good groin stretch as well. Just 90 seconds to go. Keep breathing. Your elbows can go to the floor if the blocks are too high and not feeling it enough. In with peace, out with what you don't need. Pratyahara, senses inward. Rock your chin like a pendulum or bring the head up and down. Feel free to do whatever feels appropriate in each pose for your body. Try not to appease the mind and the ego. 30 seconds. All right, now let's straighten the arms and pull the hips out of this. So yin's more about, thinking about things more as a marathon. This is something you do for years and years, and your joints will just get stronger and stronger. It's not a quick fix. Let's bow over the right leg, feel the right hamstrings again. Getting a nice stretch. Let your head hang if you can to get into the neck. This is the yang channel, the pingala of the nadis. The Eden Pingala. This is the yang side, so the sun channel. Let's take that right leg back, go back to our cows and cats, and we'll begin again here. Up and down, side to side. What feels good for your spine? Just moving around intuitively, right? Organically. All right, now next we're going to bring the left arm up, breathe in. And left arm on the floor behind the right wrist. Shoulder down, left side of the face or head. Use your right hand in front of you for support. Try to keep your hips over your knees. So just 2 minutes here to really open up the upper back, shoulders, and neck. Do what feels good. Maybe that right arm goes up and behind you. Maybe you clasp your hands and try to straighten both arms. Just keep breathing. Breath will be different here, because you are twisting into your lungs. One more minute. Okay, let's bring that right hand in front of the face. Sweep the left arm up for a counter pose. Good, doing what feels good with the neck here. You can switch hands now. Bring the right arm up. You can sit back a little to make it easier on the shoulders. And let's switch again, stepping the left foot back to the back of the mat for our easy side plank. So left foot back, right arm up, or left arm up rather, and let the head dangle. And you can move your head, yes and no. Maybe let the arm go over the ear if that feels nice. Just keep breathing, nice and slow. Just playing around in your pose. Good. Now we're going to take a big step forward with that left foot when you're ready. I love this pose. It's hard to come out of this side plank. Feels so good on the waist. But whenever you feel ready, bring that left hand down. Take a big step forward with your left foot. Okay, we're going to lean into it with the hips and then place the block in front of the right knee. Take a block under each hand, straight up and down, and we'll get into our high dragon. Remember, this is a 5-minute hold total, 2.5 high, 2.5 low. So if you need to change that a little bit, that's okay. Back toes can curl under. You want to get a little stretch in your toes here. Feel the front of the right hip. That's really what we're trying to address here. It's tight on most people. That's why most people do not like this pose. The ones you don't like the most are the ones you need the most, unfortunately. All right, so 2.5 minutes. We have 2 minutes to go here in high dragon. You can add in some neck work. You can lean forward if it's too strong, lean back if you want more. Just be careful with that SI joint. Try to keep your hips side by side. Walk the left foot to the left. Keep that right hip right next to the left hip. See what feels good on your neck here. That's the first minute of our pose. That's usually where we get to settle in after the first 60 seconds. And now we can focus on the breath. We can focus on relaxing, directing the breath to the place of tightness. Just 30 more seconds. All right, let's lean forward with the blocks inside the left foot. Try to keep your hips where they are and just place your elbows down on your props or maybe on the floor. Walk your left foot over to the left a little, just so you're not falling to the right onto that right elbow. And 2.5 minutes here for a total of 5. A short hold class today. Keep on breathing. Feel your belly moving with your breath. So we're moving through those 4 directions of the hips today. Inner outer rotation in the beginning of class. We did some flexion in the beginning of class too, which is all the forward folds that we did. Child's, butterfly, and then snail pose. And then now we're here in an extension in our dragon. Nice steady breaths, steady your nervous system. One more minute to go. Good. Now let's pull the hips out of this very slow. Remember, when you come out of these poses, it's supposed to be kind of hard to come out. That means we did it right. That means we got into that joint tissue. So bow over the left leg. This is the inside of the urinary bladder channel. So the Ida nadi of the Eden Pingala nadi, the sun and moon. So this is the moon channel. That's what yin is. It's the moon. It's cool. It's dark. It's low. It's grounded. Good. Let the head go if that feels good on your neck. Now we're going to take the toes back. Now we're going to just turn the toes under. So we make sure that we're evening out the feet. Toes turn under. Start to sit back. Find your toe stretch. Hands can stay in front of you or come to the thighs, whatever feels nice. So that some days I can't put my hands on my thighs. It's just too intense on the feet, right? We have to be able to be flexible in that way as we listen and learn to honor the body this way through our practice. Some days we just can't do what we can on other days, and be okay with that. All right, good job, everyone. That's a 1-hour class today. We're going to bring the blocks behind us for our Shavasana. So block behind the spine, sideways, block behind the head. This is our short hold Monday, Mindful Monday class. So let's be mindful in our Shavasana as we straighten the legs. Still practicing Pratyahara, but we're going to let the breath go back to its natural rhythm now. So let's begin with a cleansing breath. In through the nose and out with the side through the mouth. Just let go for the next couple of minutes. Do what feels good with your arms by your sides, out to a T, maybe over your head. Just make sure your breath can be natural. Wherever you are, just close your eyes and take a rest. So let your forehead, your eyes, and your jaw relax. Maybe swallowing to moisten the throat. Good. Letting the arms and legs get heavy. And letting your belly kind of get hollow so it really softens. Letting emotions and creativity flow today. Then let your chest relax. Move forward with an open heart today, ready to give and receive love. Wherever the universe leads you. No place to go, nothing to do. Let's just practice being for another minute or two. Now, without moving, just start to deepen your breaths. And notice that it's easier now to breathe. Your body feels more relaxed and more receptive. Skim the thumbs across the fingertips lightly and just notice you're more sensitive. You're more in tune with the present. And stretch your arms up to the sky and then back over the head if that feels good. Notice how the shoulders feel from reverse tables and your thread the needle pose. Slide the feet flat and then just let your knees fall to one side. Just roll off your blocks into fetal using the bottom arm for support and just rest on the side body for a moment. Acknowledge Mother Earth. Feel your connection to it today and rise up to seated when you're ready to close our practice out. So just sit in seated meditation for a moment. Sukhasana. Yeah, we were here in the beginning of class. How does it feel now? Can you detect the difference? That's what the thumbs across the fingertips is about. I am more sensitive. I can feel more, I can see more, I can taste more and hear more. I'm more tuned in with my senses. And then place the hands back to Anjali Mudra. Touch the thumbs against the breastbone and really be grateful to yourself for taking this time today to take care of yourself, not just physically, but spiritually and mentally too. We'll seal it in with a sweet Om together. Breathe in. Oh. And one more practice of letting go with a cleansing breath. Inhale. Let it go. Ah. Remember, the light in you and me is the same as the light in all beings. Try to see that light in yourself every day and try to see it in everyone you meet. Namaste. Thanks for being here. Have a beautiful day.